Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo. This is the MeWe Awakening panel for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online. This is our online awakening panel today. There are 6 practitioners that will be sharing about mediumship. We'll go through and share a bit about who we are, all that we do, talk a bit about mediumship, and then we'll be answering your questions, so answering questions from the audience. It's free to be here to listen and learn from all that is shared. It's a great opportunity to open to your intuition, practice strengthening your intuition, and it's a great opportunity to learn from everything that's asked and everything that's answered. All right, let's see, we've got so many different events going on too. We just had a panel last night, and then we've got another one coming up like next week. We're just keep going. So mediumship has been one of our really popular events. So one of our popular topics, this is our 3rd panel on mediumship. And let's get started doing the introductions, and then I will go through and check and see if anyone has already paid. The information for how to pay to ask a question is in the chat. You just can pay by PayPal or Venmo. If you need to, you can connect with me and I can put it on Square on my phone. If you've already paid to ask a question, maybe just write me in the chat or write everyone in the chat and I'll know and make sure to get you in line, but I'm gonna go check everything right now. And practitioner, I've got a few more specials I'm gonna add to your contact info and I'll do that right now. All right, let's see. So how about, so let's see. So do you wanna do Cindy and then Susie and then Marya and then Shelley and then Sally? So we'll kind of go in that order. So if that works for everyone. So go ahead and take a good 3 minutes or so to share about who you are and all that you do, all that you do. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy McGonagle. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an animal communicator. I live in Southern California, just outside of Palm Springs. I had a visitation of an animal at my bedside, pleading with me to come down to this area and relocate to actually help the animals here. I actually volunteer at a no-kill shelter where I actually use my Reiki master skills and my intuitive skills, where I ask each animal, to tell me their story of how they got to the shelter and what they're looking for in a forever home. And I also give them Reiki, and then I give the notes to the supervisor of the shelter in hopes that we can really find forever homes and not have a return on the animal. I've been doing oracle cards since the 70s, and I got started with tarot, and I use multiple different cards depending on what the client's needs are. I do relationship readings. I'm also a palmist. So I do my pet and me readings here in India, where I actually go to the client's house and I'll do a palm reading for the client, and then I'll teach the client how to receive messages directly from their own pet in hopes that we can solve behavior issues and things like that. So let's see, what else do I do? I am trained as a shaman, and I am offering vortex energy tours here in Palm Springs area. If you want to go out with me to some of these places that are sacred to the native peoples, or if you want to sit right on top of the Pacific plate with the North American plate and tune in to the star codes that are being downloaded into the planet right now, you can contact me for future tours out there. I also do retreats, planning a retreat in Hawaii later in the fall, if not in early next year. And I connect with the Earthkeeper crystal, which is one of the 12 Earthkeeper crystals that were here in Atlantis, and they are known as the record keepers. When you sit in front of the crystal, your soul contracts for this lifetime and other lifetimes are looked at by the devas of the crystal, and you are energetically realigned with your soul plan here on Earth. If you're curious about any of that, I'm here for all of you, and I look forward to being on this panel tonight. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Susy Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, so that means I bring divine energy through me to talk to you. I can manifest it. I can, manifest it physically. So when I talk as Archangel Michael is talking, he sounds and behaves differently than Gaia does, or something like that. I am a medium in that I talk to people who have passed on, but I don't channel them because that didn't work out the one time I did it. I'm also an energy healer. I'm able to scan your body to help you identify blockages that you have, teaching you techniques and tools that you can use to do this stuff on your own. I also encourage you to develop your own relationship with your spirit guides so that you can work with them at any time. Okay, skipping down back to energy healer. I'm an energy healer. A lot of times our body holds on to energy from either past lives or past traumas. And so I'm able to help you identify what they are, teaching you how to talk to your body to say, what's going on? What is this about? And then learning to trust what you hear. So past lives are one of those things I really, really love doing. I started as a medium around the time my own dad died, and I had some old issues I needed to resolve. So I started talking to him, and yeah, those were the arguments I got to have with him that I couldn't have when he was in body, because he was way down in Texas and I'm way up here in the Pacific Northwest. It's fascinating to me that that there is that afterlife, the survival of the soul, which kind of was right in the wheelhouse of how I was brought up. But to actually get that sort of anecdotal confirmation from it has helped me as I went through my own life experiences. Um, what else? I have a website, bluelightninghealing.com, and that's got all my events on it and links for all these things I do. I also have a podcast called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations, where I have uploaded my thoughts on Thursdays and the meditations on Mondays. There's like over 94 episodes up there, so you can get an idea, a really good idea of how I work when it goes that way. The best way to get a hold of me is at one of my 2 email addresses, which is Susy P. Goins, that's SUSYPGOINS @gmail.com, or Susy at bluelightninghealing.com. Yeah, that's what I got. I'm looking forward to another really fun and informative evening with you all. So welcome.
Thanks so much, Susie and Cindy. I just put their information in the chat, everyone. And let's see, I think we said Marya. Go ahead, you're next.
Yes. Hi, I'm Marya OMalley, and I'm a spiritual psychic medium, and I'm also a mentor. I have been a lifelong natural medium and psychic or intuitive. I didn't realize it when I was a kid. The house that I grew up in was haunted, and I didn't understand a lot of things that were happening to me. So I have a special feeling for kids that are going through this. And I did push it away for a while, and I got very busy. I went to college, I traveled, and I went to chiropractic college and became a doctor of chiropractic. And it wasn't until about 1994 that I started to embrace the metaphysical aspect of me to a greater extent. I opened a metaphysical book and gift store. It was called Lucid Dreamer Books and Gifts. And I started doing readings there formally. I had done readings otherwise, but informally. And I also had classes, and I had special guests and authors, as well as people who knew a lot about crystals and things like that. And then I closed that store about 4 years after that, and I continued to do readings. I also have been since 1994 an ordained interfaith minister, and I've done over 500 weddings and other ceremonies like memorial services. So I have a lot of experience there. I retired from chiropractic after 40 years. And I'm grateful for being able to work with so many people, thousands of people over that time. And that experience also helped me to hone my skills intuitively and learn how to communicate with people on a deeper level than I might have. After I retired, then I started emphasizing more my metaphysical work and doing more readings and adding mediumship readings as well to a greater extent. And I also do now mentor people in the intuitive arts.
Sorry, one moment. Some names moved and I accidentally muted you. It says go ahead and unmute yourself. Sorry.
Okay.
Great, go ahead.
Okay, so I do mentor people in the intuitive arts, psychics, healers, other mediums, and that involves one-on-one work with people, giving feedback. Oftentimes people would like to have more experience, more feedback from someone that does this and gain confidence. Also, some intuitives, mediums just like to have someone to check in with from time to time and get some feedback, get some support and upliftment at times. I also have had online classes in intuitive development as well as in person, where we learned anywhere from beginners through advanced intermediates, where we practiced learning different methods of the intuitive arts, using cards, reading auras, tea leaf reading, ribbon reading, which I found to be a lot of fun and surprisingly very accurate and providing a lot of information. So when I do readings, I look at this in mediumship as a team. You and I and your spirit people are a team. And I tell my clients that it's not their job to make things fit, but to answer yes, no, or I don't know to information that comes through. I do that for two main reasons. One is that I want to get my mind out of the way. So I don't want any information ahead of time about who you want to hear from, or, you know, facts about loved ones that you've lost. And also, I want you to know that it indeed is your spirit people, or are your spirit people that are communicating with you, because you haven't given me any information in advance. And then you know that it's truly them. So I welcome you tonight to this panel. We've got a wonderful panel, and thank you for coming.
Thanks so much, Marya. All right, Shelley.
Hi, I'm psychic Shelley Hofberg. And I first became aware of my gift of animal communication and mediumship at age 7. And I began my psychic career in my 30s. And I have many gifts. I am a medium and a teacher of spirit channeling. I teach channeling classes. I teach you how to connect and communicate to your loved ones on the other side. And as a medium, I can receive messages that are relevant messages from your loved ones. As an animal communicator, I can reveal what it is your pet feels about you and what it is they need from you. My first divination tool was tarot. I taught myself at age 16. I'm also a medical intuitive. I can read your inner body wisdom for the chakras. I also can read past life information, to shed light on your present situation. People in our life, we all have, past life connections with. And I'm here this evening to share my gifts with you and to give you information that will be helpful to you.
Great, thanks so much, Shelley. All right, let's see. So Sally, your turn. And it is Sally's first turn joining us at one of our events today. Go ahead, Sally.
Hi, I'm Sally. I'm a psychic intuitive tarot and oracle card reader, as well as a medium. I started out mostly with tarot cards, going to readings when I was younger. They would always tell me, I had a gift, but I never really, dove into it. I remember when I was a child feeling strange. I would see heads flying around my room. I just thought that was normal. I was very connected to antiques. I would get emotionally attached to people's stuff, thinking that it was mine. I just never talked about it because I just didn't understand it. And I was a physical therapist assistant for 19 years. So the healing and the helping people was always, you know, what I was drawn to. But I would find myself not really wanting to kind of physically heal them as much as heal them within and just talk to them. And, you know, and so that's when I kind of realized I wasn't really on the right path. My father got sick and he passed away, and I was desperately trying to communicate with him. I was devastated. So I went to Lake George and I felt like I had this spiritual awakening in nature. And then I had my first mediumistic experience. That was about 3 years ago. And then I got sick, and it intensified even more my connection to the spirit world, my healing, understanding how we have to heal ourselves. And when I do my mediumship readings, my main focus is to try to help people heal, you know, heal the emotional pain that they're feeling, also to feel connected with their relatives the way I feel connected with my dad. I mean, there's sometimes I forget he's even passed because I feel so connected to him, and I can have conversations with him, and I can have, you know, guidance from him. And so I want to be able to give that to other people. And I also, like someone else said, I want to be able to not really teach them, but let them know that they have that within them, that they can, you know, when they feel like they get that sign, yes, it's that sign. You know, if they feel like they're coming to them in their dreams, I get that question a lot. Is it really, you know, is it really them? Yeah, yes, it's really them. I just want to reassure people that what they're feeling and what they're thinking is valid, that there is life on the other side, and that we may die in the physical sense, but we don't, you know, we continue to live in the afterlife, and so do our relatives and our family members. And that's really, I think, it.
Great. Thanks so much, Sally. All right. And let's see, I think everyone else is shared. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. I think that we all read eyes all the time, like eyes are a window to the soul. I interpret what I see in your eyes with a set of archetypes that I call thrive types, archetypes for thriving. And they give you a sense of how you read eyes all the time. Just think about when you've met someone with dark sunglasses, when you can't see their eyes, there's so much missing. And as soon as you see their eyes, there's so much that's there. We pick up so much about each other through our eyes, so much subtlety. So by reading your eyes, I'm able to read your soul and see your life purpose and help you make choices in your life that support you in expressing your purpose. So are you on a career path that supports you expressing your purpose? Are you in an organization or working for yourself in a way that really supports you? Are you attempting to do all these things which may suit you if you have a particular purpose, or maybe your best focus is over here and maybe give this away, find a way to trade it with someone or hire someone. I help companies hire people that are a great fit for the role that they'll be working in, and also the team and the culture. And I use this to help people understand all sorts of people who are in their lives now. It might be a coworker or a partner or a child or parent, friends even, like all kinds of things, teams that we're on. And then I love to use this work for matchmaking. So I do conscious online dating with people. So when we go to date, we often feel a little scared and nervous. We want to get seen. And so we go back to patterns that used to work early in our life with our parents, with our family of origin. And so most of us don't realize, but we disguise ourselves the way it worked as kids. And so we end up dating people like our family of origin, or we feel scared that we're not lovable. So the people that are like us can't be lovable. And we choose all these people that are so different than us and really hard to be with. So I help people express who they authentically are online, choose photos that show who you authentically are, and there are tricks for how to take those. And then we search through eyes of all the potential dates, and we find the people that are great for you, maybe people that are soulmates if you're interested in a soulmate. So I love to apply this work in so many different ways. I don't particularly think of myself as a medium, but when I look at you, I can see not only you, I can also see the influence of your life growing up. And I don't understand how it is I do this, but I can feel into sort of the emotional journey that you've been on and what it was like emotionally being with those people. So it's possible if you have questions about mediumship, I might be able to answer some of those questions in some ways. But if you have questions about other things, I can contribute to that today too. And part of my body psychology work is tuning into your body and how your body's giving you signals and messages. And I can notice all kinds of different things in your body that might inform some of your question as well. So I'm primarily here helping run the panel today. I run all the MeWe Fairs events. And yeah, so those are some of my gifts, and they may come in today too. All right, well, let's see. So we're here to answer your questions. I think I've got one person in line right now. Let me see if anyone else, maybe it just be one person right now. So it's free to be here to listen and learn from all that's shared, and it's sliding scale to ask a question. Excuse me. It's $16 to $24 to ask a question. You can choose which amount supports you. $20 helps sustain our events. $24 helps support other people that can't afford as much. And then $16 if the price is too high. And then for BIPOC, it's $10. So doing our part to support racial justice. All righty. Well, let's see. So before we start answering questions, just a few things. So one is, keep in mind that this is recorded and it will be online. So if you want to ask a question in private, we all do sessions privately. So please reach out to us and work with us. I'll put all of our information in the chat again. If when we're answering your question, if you start here with this question and we talk about other topics that for us are related, but you don't want us talking about here in this format, just let us know, unmute and let us know, wave your hands in the chat, right? Or wave your hands on the screen, right in the chat, and we will bring our answers back to where you want us to be. And if similarly, if we go too deep and we start delving into things you don't want us to work with here, same thing, just let us know. We're here to honor you. And then I encourage you all to learn from all that is shared today, both what is asked and what is answered. Just a great format for practicing your intuition, for example. For those of you that are practicing mediumship in particular, someone asks a question and something may arise for you. And if one of the practitioners shares that in their answers, that's confirmation that you're tapping into the same kinds of things they are. And you may have something else that shows up for you that is maybe equally valid, but none of us mention. And just a great opportunity to practice and check those things out. If something does come through for you, you might want to write it down because sometimes they don't stay. And if you want to, when we're done answering that person's question, and I'd appreciate if you'd let the attention stay up on the panel when we're answering people's questions, you can write them privately when we're done and see if they'd like to hear the answer that came through for you. If they do, please go ahead and share with them. Just please honor whatever they share. And they might be full after hearing from so many people on the panel and not want anything right now. And trust that it came through you for some reason. So when you ask a question, since there are 5 people practicing mediumship on the panel, chances are we'll have time for all of them to answer. It's possible, not everyone will have something they want to contribute. And if there's someone you particularly want to hear from, feel free to mention that and we can aim to get that person up early in the answers to make sure that you hear from them. All right. So, and I'll put the information in the chat again too. If you you can just pay on PayPal or Venmo, just let me know in the chat that you've paid, and I'll make sure to get you in line. And if you have any trouble with those kinds of payments, I can run Square on my phone. So different options. All righty, and I think we've got Sky first in line. So Sky, if you're ready, you can jump in. And maybe practitioners, I'm going to pin the practitioners, so you'll probably all be on screen here since we can all fit today. And then I'll put you, Sky, up in here too. Just one moment. And I guess I got to get myself in here too. All right, great. Go ahead, Sky.
All right. About 3 years, I started having a lot of health problems, and as soon as I stopped my employment that I used to have, it seemed like those health issues had gone away. I've been told many times throughout my entire life that I have a high purpose for this life. It seems like every time I get a tarot reading or oracle reading or whatever, and people are like, you have guides with you that are trying to talk to you. And the last one that I had was just like a couple months ago, where the lady was talking about seeing an old woman with me. And I'm wondering, like, things are going really well now, but I'm just wondering if they have any messages for me, or,
Great. And practitioners, if you know you're ready to answer, if you know how to use the Zoom tool to raise your hand, that would be great. If you have the older software, it's in the participant panel. And if you have the newer software at the bottom, click reactions, and in reactions, you can raise your hand. Okay, great. Shelley's ready. Go ahead, Shelley.
I am seeing an older woman around you. And she has like kind of a darkish grayish hair. And I am picking up the name Martha. Does the name Martha mean anything to you?
No, not really. Mm-mm.
All right, because I sometimes we have other spirit guides besides our relatives.
Right.
So there is definitely an older woman around you, and I'm definitely getting the name Martha. So I feel that Martha may be more of an ancestral guide.
Okay.
Yeah, that if you were to do your genealogy, get a genealogy report, that she may come up, because I'm feeling that she is an ancestor of yours. And I'm feeling that she is like either like Greek or Italian or Hungarian origin. Do you have any of those nationalities in your family?
I honestly don't know. I'm not real close with my family. So the last, I think I heard that we were from England or something like that.
All right, this may be also an origin that Martha was from, that's in your genealogy. If you had your genealogy done, then it would make more sense what I'm saying.
Okay.
But Martha, I feel, is a healing guide.
Yeah, that's what I've been
And
told a lot.
that she is a healing guide, and that she is here to do healing on your body temple. So I feel that there is healing going on for you through Martha.
Okay.
And I do feel that there may have been a grandfather or a grandmother that has been passed on a long time that you might have been close to when you were a child.
Harvey?
Harvey, was
Might
that your
be.
grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's coming through. The grandmother's coming through too, his Harvey's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he says that he is working with Martha, that Martha, seemed to have come in maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, because I feel that you have been dealing with health issues for a long time, a few years now.
Yeah, I have.
And Martha seems to have come in during the time that you started to have health issues. And so your grandfather, I feel, is confirming, yes, she is an ancestor. And she's related to your grandfather's side of the family.
Okay.
And that they are helping you to heal. They are working on you.
Just a little thing, Shelley, it's really interesting to me the way you're saying ancestor. It keeps sounding like sister.
Oh,
I'm wondering if there's
okay.
anything sister that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Susie's in line next, and then Cindy.
Hey, Sky, welcome back.
Hey.
Last night was your first time, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm totally on board. Oh, and first off, my rainbow bridge stone asked to be held and shown to you. It's a calcite and it's all spiky, but it's got all kinds of different amazing colors in it. So calling in the energy, I'm the last one to say don't go out and buy stones, because I have a lot of them. In fact, I went to a shop and they saw my kyanite and all that, and we're like talking rocks then. But calling in the energy of these multicolored stones is going to help you open up your heart more. I got that you are finding that who your true self is. And Martha came forward to me as Greek, Shelley. So that's what I'm getting. But I appreciate that you got so much more about her lineage to Sky than I did. But I'm also feeling Kuan Yin about you. And Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion. And she asks you to be open to these new experiences that are coming to you. That the color shirt that you have on, the blouse, is beautiful, and that is certainly a resonant color for you. For it's a the teal is so many colors put together, like blue and yellow to make a green, but there's there's that balance in there. So they are asking you to allow them to help you to find the balance in your life. They said that quitting the job 3 years ago was the best thing you did, because not only does that help you emotionally and psychologically, it's going to help you open up to possibilities. And that is what they are asking you to do, is to open up to the possibilities. You're finding a new community here and being welcome into it. I'm so excited to know that you came back. And what else? Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is about compassion, and she works with dragons. So asking you to, you have a dragon. That is the color dragon that you are wearing right now. This is a dragon that comes to you in your dreams to help you work on these past life issues in which you were considered an oddball in the community. You didn't fit their mold, and so you're stepping outside of the mold. And you are finding these people who accept you for who you are. There is no question about how your heart is when you come around these people, and they are here to uplift you. And as a result, as you are uplifted, so can you uplift others. That is part of your healing ability, is to look and see true self in people and to honor it and to hold it gently and respect it. And that is what your purpose is to help people find and honor their true selves. And I'm going to mute so I can go cry, because that's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks, Susie. All right. I think we had, is it Cindy and then Marya? Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Sky. I'm Cindy, and I want to just let you know that I truly appreciate you being on the planet at this time. I know things are in transition for you. And so one of the minerals, I agree with Susie, the minerals are calling to you. I work with the mineral kingdom quite a lot. Lepidolite, which is a purple stone often found in nature with tourmaline, will help you with feeling less moody. Okay, because I know that sometimes you feel kind of, like, as we all do, kind of. And then the other thing that comes up for you is that you actually carry a Pleiadian frequency. I don't know if you've worked with the star beings at all. You're part of the healer's healer. So as you spread your wings, becoming who you truly are, I feel like morning affirmations are a really good way for you to start off each day. Something positive, even going to bed with something positive, will also help up your vibrations. I think that you actually will become a counselor for other people. And I want you to step into that role. But I want you to also know that really deep down inside, you're super sensitive. And so you need to actually, ask for divine protection around you. You can call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. You can form a pyramid of light around you. You can put yourself in a Merkaba light, and I see you actually going to, a school, so to speak, so you could mentor with any of us and develop some of those talents that are in there that that are in there for you. And I just say, welcome to awakening.
Thanks. And oh, Sky, you're muted if you want to share.
Yeah, you all are hitting like right on things that I'm currently working on in my life. Yes, I've been wanting to go into counseling for a long time in healing. So you not knowing me, it's like that's really exciting.
It's great. All right, Marya is next.
Hi, Sky. I'm getting a really strong sense from spirit that sound would help you with your healing and be a release to you to let the sound waves wash through you. I'm seeing a Tibetan singing bowl, but it could be something else like a gong or other things, to use that in your process, and also just to shed the residuals of the day sometimes when we've been busy, or we're just letting go of that so we can clear ourselves and receive from spirit. And you may even use this in counseling, and crystals have been mentioned. So I see you also using the sound with the crystals to increase your vibration and help you connect even more to spirit in your service of others as well as in your own journey.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Marya. Great. Sally, did you have anything you want to share before I?
I just was wondering, when you were saying about your job, I feel like it might have been a lot about stress related. I kind of almost got dizzy. So I don't know if that was something you were dealing with, like almost overwhelmed feeling of like lots of stress, very, very stressful.
I was the truck driver for 15 years, working 70 hours a week. So
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm feeling like your family or your spirit guides are definitely very happy that you do not do that anymore. Yeah, it was just like, I'm feeling like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed with the stress of what's going on. So yeah, I can feel that. And I do agree with all the healing things. But I just feel like you just are so much more relaxed now. Your body, just everything is more relaxed now that you're not doing that job anymore. And I think that that's like confirmation that it was too much for you. I do agree with the healing, some energy healing type of stuff as well would help. That was really all I got. Because I mean, like a lot of the things I felt the same as what they were saying, but the stress was just, whew.
Yeah, that's great. Great. So one little bit I'll add is to your eyes. I think that one of your natural talents, it's called scholar. It's about absorbing information to build knowledge and share knowledge. So it's putting the knowledge together in a map. So it's like a mind map. But so you can't help but do that with everything that comes in. Does that make sense, that you love to learn and that also you love to answer questions and share?
Oh yes, yes, very much so.
Great. So one of the benefits and challenges of having scholar talent with being intuitive is that it's the deepest, most mature lesson of scholar to be an intuitive knower. So it requires a lot of openness and spaciousness and trust with all intuition, right? Following and not having any idea, like, is it really true? Then in particular, because scholar's gift is about truth, it's watching that you don't scare yourself, because it gets you caught in, like, you can't prove it, so it kind of blocks the intuition, right? And then and scholars are great at experimenting though, so using the opportunity to experiment and like go forward with things and find out, right, what's so, and there's feedback that you get. I was also going to share a good thing about a really lovely thing about scholar is that it is neutral. It brings a lot of neutrality, and so many messages and many different things can be here, so you have space for lots of things to come in. And then it's following and listening, like what stands out. It makes some sense. Yeah. Cool. All right. Anyone else have anything else they want to share with Sky? Right, great, Sky. Thanks so much for jumping in and
Sky,
coming.
I just wanted to let you know that your grandfather is definitely around you, very strong. And he says that within the next 2 or 3 months, there's a total change in the direction of your life. So I feel that that is going to involve your healing, your personal healing, and you also being able to become a healer for other people. And he's saying something about that you also are very creative and that you should be doing something with writing. Do you write at all?
I used to a long time ago. I haven't.
He's saying that you need to get back into your writing. He's
Okay.
saying that he's going to communicate with you. There's something called channel writing. And through channel writing, your grandfather would be able to communicate with you, that you could have a communication with your grandfather, because he really does want to communicate with you and connect with you and help you with the healing process. So I just wanted to share that with you, that he said you should be writing.
Okay.
Thank you, Sky.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to confirm what Shelley was talking about your grandfather, and I felt him right away when you first asked your question. So
Great. Yeah, so and it reminds me too, a couple other things I could say about scholars. So as part of scholars being neutral, and like there's so many different things that may arrive or that, right, that show up. It's important for scholars to learn to follow their opinion. So this is sort of like the intuition that comes through you. So whenever you sense something, it's to let yourself follow and go that and to say what's here. And yeah, scholars can be so neutral that they don't share. So you just bring a lot of neutrality, a lot of spaciousness and gentleness. And so it's so important to remember that you're here and that the energy coming through you is part of what's meaningful too. And yeah, great. And yes, also teachers, scholars love to teach too, but yeah. So speaking of teaching, so yeah, and Sky, thank you so much for getting us started today and coming back and becoming part of our community. So someone asked a question in the chat, and I think it would be great, practitioners, if we just say something about this for a moment. Someone asked about teaching and mentorship. They're not familiar with that and how that works. Like we leave information about our offerings in terms of readings, but so people are wondering about that too. So, and I can say like not every practitioner teaches or mentors people in their approach, but a lot of us do. And we're talking about forming a group where we'll do more mentorship also. Yes, like I teach my eye readings to people. So practitioners, maybe go ahead and share a little bit about if you teach, just what that's like and how you work with people, or yeah, just say a little of just the process in general of what it's like for people learning these kinds of things. Go ahead, Marya.
hi. I do one-on-one mentorship, and I also do groups in person. Well, I was doing groups in person, but those have been on hold for a while, and I've switched to online where I've done intuitive development, and we actually practice. We learn different ways to connect psychically. And if we're talking about mediumship, how to connect with the spirit world and how to bring that communication forward. Sometimes it's a matter of noticing. That's very important, because oftentimes people get these fleeting impressions, maybe images, maybe even a scent, a sensation, or just knowing that's very quick. So we learn how to recognize those things and bring them forward, and also how to trust that what we're getting is legitimate, and how also to distinguish between our own imaginations and what's real, so to speak, from the spirit world or psychically, what energy we're picking up on, and what's our own feeling, because empaths have a lot of difficulty sometimes distinguishing between their own feelings and the feelings of others. So that's something that's important to work on, to know what you feel, as opposed to maybe you're going along your day, everything's fine, and now you're feeling a lot of anxiety for absolutely no reason. And it could be that you're picking up on things from other people. So we learn to distinguish that.
Yeah, that's great, Marya. All super important things. Go ahead, Susy, and then Cindy.
So what I do, and I've had people dogging me on it, like I've got all these books in me and then I need to teach classes. I haven't taken that step, but what I do as far as teaching, when I do one-on-one sessions with folks, I will tell them, look, we've got all of this that we can do, and they are able to do it on their own in their own time if they want. There is that question of trust, as Marya was talking about, learning how to trust what you hear. And frequently people will come to a practitioner to get that confirmation, but I really do want to encourage people to trust what they hear and what they're getting, because it's true for them. They can't always call up their reader and say, oh, this is what I'm getting. And of course, my answer is usually, well, yeah, that's what you got. So it's learning to trust, and then learning some of these techniques that I've learned and that I've developed. And, you know, my podcast has got all of these things that I've learned along the way. So that's a form of teaching, if you can sit there and listen to me rave about different things for 10 to 20 minutes. But I don't think there is really any good to come from somebody saying this is only mine, because if we're working to help everybody grow and to develop psychically and spiritually, in that way improve the vibration of the planet, then we're doing what we're supposed to do. And as much as we can convey that, as much as I can convey that to clients, that's where my heart lives.
Thanks, Susie. All right, we've got Cindy and then Shelley.
Okay, hi everybody. So with me, it's an individual opportunity. And so I start usually with the palm reading, and I show you how to look at your own lines in your hand, because the palms reflect your soul. And what I discover with you is hidden talents and abilities your soul wants to bring through in this lifetime. And then depending on how you react to that, I can specialize one-on-one trainings with me, either virtually, or if you're lucky enough, come down and be with me, where I take you out to these vortex areas. And we experience nature at such a deep level that nature, combined with your higher self, activates your own intuitive gifts like a catalyst. So if that interests you, that's what I have to offer. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Go ahead, Shelley.
I teach a spiritual channeling course, a mediumship course that entails learning to ways, doing guided meditations, and using different divination tools that help to connect you to your spirit guides. There are other spirit guides besides your relatives. There are master guides, there are angels, there are power animals. So in my channeling course, I teach you about the different types of spirit guides. I give you the tools to be able to channel your guides through guided meditation and meditations. I also teach psychic development. I call my course Discovering the Psychic Within, and which we learn about the 4 clairs and how to use your gift of clairvoyance, clairsentient, clairaudient, and claircontents. You use the 4 clairs to be able to receive information, psychic information about the present. I also will teach you in this psychic development course to receive information, past life information, to connect to the Akashic records, and to do astral projection. So the course entails developing your psychic gifts and different ways that you can learn to do readings. I also teach intuitive tarot, because I believe that the best tarot readers are those that use their psychic senses to interpret the cards. So intuitive tarot teaches you to use your psychic senses to read the tarot cards, as well as giving you the basic meaning of the tarot cards. And I also incorporate the astrology and numerologies linked to the tarot. So if you're interested in finding out about any of my courses, just email me at Psychic Shelley Hofberg, HOFBERG.com, and I will send you outline of the courses. Thank you. Go in there. Go in there. Go, baby.
Oh, one moment. Sorry, we got someone to mute. Okay. Great. Susie, did you want to say something else? Go ahead. Nope. Okay, I just got your hand raised again. Who knows? And yeah, it's okay. It's off. Let's see. So, and then I also teach people to read. I teach both my body psychology and my eye readings. I have videos that support both of those. And in general, the way I recommend that you learn, it's often about self-growth as part of it. So for eye readings, like have a deep eye reading of yourself and you'll learn a lot of the tools conceptually, and the kind of the categories of traits that I read in people, and similar to the body psychology as you watch the videos. And you can do it one-on-one with me too if you don't want videos. I say that it's for your own growth and really feeling it in your own body. I think that helps in terms of being able to recognize things with other people, but really your eyes determine how you best learn. So it might be watching videos, it might be reading some of my material. I have a book on the 7 talents, for example, that I read in people's eyes. It could be working with me, working with a group and a conversation. I do field trips where we go look at people. We can do that online by video. So it just really varies. And with learning to read eyes, there's learning the categories of things and learning the concepts. There is looking specifically at, well, that affects behavior and people's beliefs and intentions and kind of feeling into people's intentions. And then there's what to see in the eyes specifically, and the patterns of the eyes, the movement of the eyes, the angle of the eyes. But then also there's some things I pick up on the whole face, and there's some of the body. So there's one trait, for example, where people have great rhythm. And so just watching them walk from behind, you can see the rhythm in their body as they move. So there are all kinds of tricks for how to see it. There are also ways that we sort of fake it, and we have fake masks on, and then learning what those masks are to how to distinguish what's real and what's not. And the eyes are the things that really help distinguish that. And so in the classes, there's, right, so the concepts and the intention and the physical traits, and then there's the energy, and I have some images that help you understand the image or the energy movement of people with the different talents, and then also trying them on and faking it in your own body experience, your own emotional experience. So again, you can get a sense of what it feels like in terms of mapping it with others. And it's also really important to get a sense of people in your life. So you have experiences with all sorts of people. And when you start to learn how the categories map on those people, then you have an emotional kind of and a physical reaction inside when you see new people. And you won't know why. And it's because they have the traits in common, and you can start to learn to map that inside you. So that's a big way I do that with the eye readings, and the body psychology kind of related and different. And then also I love these things called O cards. This is a set of cards that have 2 sets of, well, it's a big box with 2 sets of cards, and some of them are words and some of them are images. And this is a great way to practice. I teach classes for how to use these, and they come from Europe, so I bought a box and I have them for sale too. This is a great way to do readings with people. You can do it with people you don't know and people that you know. It's a great way to practice your intuition because you don't need, well, the cards are very simple. You don't need to know anything about the cards in order to interpret them. Right? There are things that are in our culture we know, and the words, like we know these words. So particularly when it's friends, I think it's really fun to do it with friends because it's a way that you can all give each other advice and different intuitions you have where you don't often have permission to share that with each other. So these are great ways to practice your intuition too. And then I'll say also, being at these events, this is such a great way to expand. I have learned so much from all the different practitioners on the panel, and just being able to practice and see like, oh, I had hints about that and I didn't know I could do that, or I sense those things. So yeah, all of you being here today is a great way too. Anyone else, anything else you want to share about teaching and programs and stuff like that? Okay, great. Thanks for asking the question. You know who you are that asked the question, and I think that was hugely of service for lots of people. All right, we've got people in line. Let me go. So we've got Debbie, Tammy, Deanna, and Cheryl in line, and I got to see now if there's anyone else too. All right, Debbie, are you ready to jump in? Where me go find Debbie, and I got to get you to the front. Oh. Which Debbie are you? How many Debbies do we have? It might be you. I might have you here in the front. Are you ready to ask your question?
You have the right Debbie.
Sorry, go ahead. Could you say something else?
Is it me?
Yep, it's you. All right, go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Ask your question.
I don't really have a specific question. I've just had some issues, especially during this COVID with people and, dreams of some lost loved ones. And I just kind of feel like a lost soul with this whole COVID problem we're all going through. And I'm just curious to see what kind of vibration someone picks up on this, or can give me some guidance as to what I have to look forward to.
Yeah. All right, Shelley. Oh, Shelley and then Marya. Shelley, you're muted still.
Debbie, the first thing I'm picking up is a strong male presence on the other side. And I feel that this is a father or your grandfather, which is which would be your father's father. Has your father or grandfather on your father's side of the family, are they on the other side?
Yes, both of them.
Yeah, because I feel their presence very strongly around you.
Okay.
And it's like they're trying to lift a cloud of confusion. I feel that there's a lot of issues, a lot of things going on with people right now, and that you seem to have some have some confusion. They're saying that you're kind of confused about how to handle the situation and whether or not you should be letting some people go, because there might be some people in your life right now that do not have your best interest, that are not serving you, that you need to let go, because you seem to be I feel sometimes people overburden you. They come to you. You know, they're the kind of person that people come to.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and so your father and grandfather is concerned about that because they feel it's causing you a lot of emotional duress, and they're very concerned about that. And they're saying it's time for you to do some housekeeping and to let go of some of these people. They're saying that they're talking about that you may be relocating to possibly Arizona or Colorado. Have you ever thought about those places?
No.
Yeah, they're saying there's some people in the Arizona or Colorado area that you're going to be meeting. It may not be you going to those states. It may be that there'll be some new people coming from your life that are from there, because they say that to keep in mind is that these people are going to be important. They're bringing, your father and your grandfather are bringing in people to help you. And I feel that there's some kind of opportunity coming in that area, they're saying. Because I feel like you said, you're not really thinking about those areas, but there's some kind of opportunity that seems to be coming in that area that has to do with your spiritual development. There may be some kind of class or workshop after the COVID that you will be going, that he's saying that these people are teachers that you're going to be meeting that are going to be helping you with your spiritual development. They say that you need to be focused more on your spiritual development right now, and that you also need to take care of your health. Have you not been feeling well?
Correct.
Yeah, because they're saying that it's very important. They're telling you, they keep I don't mean to repeat myself, but they keep telling me that you know who these people are. Let them go. They're bad for your health, because you really need to focus on your health and your spiritual development and your spiritual growth and your health. And they're bringing in these teachers for you, so you may in the future, and it could be from a year from now, I don't think it's anytime soon, that this areas will be important because there's teachers there for you. They also said that you're going to be connecting with a male healer, that there's a healer that you're going to find online that you're going to be connecting with, that's going to really help you to get well.
Okay.
And if you would like more of an in-depth reading, just call me at 818-744-5244. 4/1, I have special on medium readings right now,
Okay. Thank you very much.
but they're definitely in your life very strongly, and they're
Okay.
helping you.
Great. By the
Thank
way,
you.
all the practitioners have specials, and I'll put that in the chat again as well. So we're all available. Marya, go ahead, and then Sally, and then
Hi,
Cindy.
Debbie. Your mother's on the other side.
Yes.
I feel her very strongly around her, around you, and you have a resemblance to her. And I feel like she's bringing you a cup of tea. She's trying to comfort you. And it could be symbolic if you're a coffee drinker, but I keep seeing her carrying a saucer with a cup on it. And she walks a little slowly as she brings this tea to comfort you. And you mentioned the dreams. I know many people that since COVID started have had dreams of departed loved ones. And to me, it's not a sign that you're going to pass or you're about to pass, but I do believe that the situation with COVID has made the veil even thinner and made it easier for them to come through in our dreams.
Okay.
So they will take advantage of that to come through in the dream time.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I believe that's what's happening with you.
Okay, thanks.
And also, if you want to connect more closely with your mother, just make a cup of tea or whatever you like to drink and just sit down and just think about things that you remember, pleasant memories from the past, and just acknowledge that she's there and just see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Marya. All right, we've got Sally, and then Cindy, and then Shelley, and then Susy. All right, go ahead, Sally.
Okay, what I was picking up, I feel like there's a lot of fear around you right now. I think your fear is that things aren't going to go back to normal. I think the isolation is kind of getting to you a little bit, where you're feeling alone and isolated from people, and I think it's really starting to get to you. Maybe
Right.
you didn't see some of these people that passed, you didn't get to feel connected to them before they passed, and you're just feeling this very isolation, lonely, and starting to worry about when's it going to end? Are things going to go back to normal? What is it going to be like without these people kind of in my life? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like you would have been somebody that enjoyed to have people around you a little bit, or have some kind of, closeness with people, and that's really bothering you. So I do feel like your spirit guides are trying to help you through this and give you, some hope that everything's going to come back to normal. That's just what I'm hearing. Let me just see what else I got. When she was talking about your mother with the tea, I think that might have been something that you guys would have done even together, maybe sat down and had tea and talked. And that's kind of what you're missing. And that's kind of where you're disconnecting and you're feeling that disconnect. But I do feel like they're trying to tell you that things will get better. And that you will. There was somebody, I think, too, that you didn't get to see or you didn't get to be around when they passed. That's the feeling I'm getting to. That it was very hard for you. I don't know if it was a friend or recently, but they're letting you know that they know that you would have been there if you could. They know that you would have been there, you wanted to be there, and that you shouldn't feel guilty. They don't feel any, you know what I mean? They know that you would have been there in a minute, they're saying, if you could have. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Right.
and that's how they don't want you to feel any guilt. They said you're going through enough. Stop worrying about other people. Stop worrying about, all the things, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas type of thing, and just try to find some peace. And just, they're saying hang in there because it's going to get better. That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you.
Hope that helps.
Yep.
Thanks, Sally. All right, we've got Cindy, and then we'll have Susy, and then Shelley again.
Okay, hi. I just want you to take a deep breath, please. Take a deep breath in and imagine yourself grounding into the earth I need you to practice this, getting connected with the earth a little bit more so you can find yourself, because I think that you've been beating yourself up for some dumb reason. I think we all do that a little bit, but I want you to shake that free. And, breath work is one of the ways to do that. I want to encourage you to relook at the nutrition that you're putting in your body to make sure that it's actually really good for you, okay? I'd like to see you do a little bit of exercise, maybe chair yoga. Get some more energy around you that's positive for you, get it flowing. I would recommend Young Living's Joy. It's an oil that'll up your vibration, and you can find that easily. And I know that you know this inside, that you are making the right steps every single day. It just takes more time. So you can focus with goals, okay? Not just a daily goal, but a 3-month goal. And where the heck are you going to be in 3 to 5 years? Extend your vision of yourself so you can walk into that vision, okay? And that'll help bring synchronicity. Because as I look out for you, you're moving into more of a counselor opportunity. So I know that Marya was talking to you about tea. I would like to encourage you to actually call a couple friends, get them on Zoom, and offer tea together, and then open up your counselors, your gifts, and just listen to them and give them insight so that you can feel like you're making some movement forward into this new career that you're going to be doing. And if you don't want to do tea, do potluck dinners. Just say, hey, so that way you have something to look forward to, and your friends have you to support them as you move into your counselor role. And don't forget music, okay? I'd like you to look at American Idol, some of these, fantastic kids that are, singing their heads off, and feel that music in your body so that you can feel the inspiration, and the creativity come forward, okay? It's time for you to step forward, stop whining, and get busy. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, I love music. I have many musician friends, so watching their videos and listening to their music helps me. Yeah.
Great. All right, Susie, and then we'll check back in with Shelley.
Okay. Hey, Debbie. I saw, Archangel Michael is one of those guys who will be everybody's guide if he had his way. He doesn't always resonate, but I did see that masculine energy about you, asking you to understand that this isn't going to last forever, but that you're going through, like spiritual fatigue. I feel that not only your emotions, but the emotions of people around you are really beginning to take their toll. So I would recommend that you cut cords from people, and it just takes a moment to breathe and envision cords coming off of you energetically, either from the front, which are the cords you're sending out, or if they're approaching you from the back, those are other people's cords. And you just breathe into them and allow them to dissipate. There are some techniques where you crunch them down and you ninja all over them or reconnect them to divine. Just allow them to dissipate and return to the universe, or to return to divine, where divine can take care of them. Because that's part of what is draining you at this point, is just are all these cords. So cut the cords. The dreams I heard that are for reassurance that you're not alone. Yeah, they're dead people, but they are still there for you at your beck and call. You can talk to them without having to worry about having a mask on. These are people who know you
Right.
and know your experience. Yeah, and so and they've got that not in body, but that overarching, that above what you're doing. They're not in body, so they can see the big picture. That's the word. And the dreams are a way to connect, not the way you would prefer, but they are a way to connect. And you can connect with people not only through Zoom, but in dream time, you can go out and go hang out with friends and do the spiritual work. There is a lot of learning to be done in this situation as it is, and you're welcome to open to it and shift yourself so that you can be better able to do it. This isn't a perfect situation. We all understand that. But having these Zoom meetings where we can connect to people, I've met so many new people through this venue. It's amazing. And that's something you can do too. I like the idea of hanging out with your friends via Zoom. I have a friend who she knits on a Zoom thing, so we can come in with our knitting or fiber crafting or whatever, and we can just yak, and that's okay. It's a way to connect. Again, it's not ideal, but it's something to get us through what we're going through at this time and to remind you of that connection you have that is not only for your benefit, but for the benefit of others. Yeah, Michael's like, yeah, I'm there for whatever, you know, if you have trouble sleeping, he says, I've got wings here. You can just crash out in the wings and be lifted up. And because he's quite the adventurer. And so you can do dream time that way too. He's a lot of fun, but develop your own relationship and with your guides in that way. Yeah. He says, just call on me anytime. It's okay.
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 All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Shelley, did you have a little bit more you wanted to share?
Debbie, your father keeps telling me that you need to reconnect and heal a relationship that involves a child or that could be a sister. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Do you have a sister that has a child?
All my sisters have children. Yeah.
All right, this is a sister that right now that feelings have been hurt. He's saying that you need to, I feel he's saying it's a sister that is younger in age than you, and that you need to reach out to this sister and that you need to heal this relationship with your sister. He really wants you to heal this relationship. Do you know what sister that he might be referring to?
Yes, probably my older sister.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone younger than me.
Oh, all right. He's talking about younger because I feel he's referring to her as younger because she has a lot of growing up to do. But he's saying
Right.
that you need to heal that relationship and that he wants you to reach out and heal that relationship. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. I'll share a little bit too, based on your eyes. So I think the 3 talents that you have are called Server and Warrior and Scholar. Server is about love, intimacy, and deep connection. So the loneliness of this time is particularly hard for that part of you. And while that one is such a feminine part, you also have Warrior, which is a very like masculine, much more like grounded, practical part. And then Scholar also is a neutral, open, like you love learning. But so to me, you have like the soft part and this really rugged part. And I think the soft part of you got hurt very deeply long ago too. And so there's some like you are open and closed with it. And being away from everyone right now, you feel pain, but I'm imagining that you feel very frustrated and you seem angry from some things that are long ago and also just the situation now. And I think having an opportunity to let yourself really express that, you know, just very much like, and like really letting this come through. So like your throat opens so you don't hurt your vocal cords. I have some exercises like twisting a towel. Anyone can do this. Get like a big bath towel, fold it in half, grab the 2 diagonal sides and twist it, and like twist it hard, and you get all these muscles turned on as a way of letting yourself fully feel. Does that?
Okay.
Yeah, because it seems like honoring that rough, tough part of you too, so that the softness comes after you've really had a chance to express. And you're very physical. So I'm imagining like you don't do soft hugs, you want like a more rugged kind of hug. And again, being alone, like you haven't had the physical connection with people.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have anyone, like, is there any one person that you know that has a similar amount of safety where the 2 of you could be more of a pod, but where you could have that kind of rugged hugging, I think would really support you?
No, it just, like I said, it seems like all my friends just kind of want to be in their own little bubble.
Mhm.
ever since COVID started. And, I understand that and all that, but they don't utilize the tools that are on the internet, the Zoom, the chat, the phone or nothing. They're just all
Say they're not.
doing their own thing. And I don't know where it's going to end up. And I've reached out to a lot of them, and they're just in their own little world.
Well, some things that might feel supportive to you. I find this is like a bit of a self hug. So it's I use it as a fear melter or a fear antidote, but it feels good like a hug. So putting your arms together and pulling in and pushing out, it's a resistance exercise. So it can actually feel a bit like a hug. And you can be pretty firm with yourself. So that's one thing too. And then, yeah, so again, so I don't know if you said you have so many sisters with kids. Are there any that are nearby or everyone's far away?
One sister is close by. Another sister, there is an issue with her, and another one lives far away.
Yeah, so the one that's close by, how old are there any of the kids younger or they're all grown?
No, her daughter is older and has kids too. So
Okay. Well, if there are any kids that are like within like that you can connect with, like wrestling would be a really good thing for you. Or if there's someone that has a dog that's like a bigger dog that really likes to play in a harder way and like, tug of war and stuff. I just feel like you really need the physical contact.
Oh, I have a dog and a cat.
Okay, and what is your dog? What kind of dog do you have?
It's part Labradoodle and part Schnauzer, I believe.
Okay.
I took it from someone that was moving and couldn't take it, so
Yeah.
I kind of adopted her as a rescue.
Does she fetch?
Yes, she fetches, and she is usually like she doesn't like to be alone. She wants me with her constantly.
So I'd say being outside with her and like outside with her fetching where you're in public somewhere, if they have spaces like that, or just outside walking with her, find out who the other rugged people are. And it's being with the energy of the other people that really are so in their bodies and want to be outside.
Okay.
Yeah. Just being, and I totally feel like the people that are showing up to you too is a call for you to share your capacity to connect with energy more and more. It just seems like you're growing past where your friends are, like you have some calls to grow beyond them, to reach out to new people and also to share your gifts in ways that the people around you haven't. And they don't necessarily understand. So you finding your own connections with other people online like you're doing today.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, practitioners, anything else you want to share with Debbie? Okay, great. Thank you, Debbie, so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, next we've got Tammy. All right, Tammy, are you ready to go? All right, unmute. You're still muted.
Come here. Come here. Okay, yes, I'm ready. I would like to ask Shelley, why is my little toy poodle trying to guard me from everything? He's following me from room to room to room, and it's driving me crazy. And I love him so much, but I need him to know I need my space.
I feel that I feel he's a little boy, and it feels that he is very energy sensitive, that there is a lot of energy around you. I feel there's a lot of spirits in your home.
Yes.
I feel that you have mediumship abilities, and that you can sense spirits in your home. And there is at least 3 or 4 spirits that are present in the home.
Okay.
And there seems to be a male spirit that he wants to keep away from you.
Okay.
He seems to be okay with the other 3 spirits, but he's not comfortable with this male spirit. And I don't really feel that the male spirit is trying to harm you or hurt you. I think it's someone related to you. Is your father on the other side?
Yes.
Was your father kind of had strong energy and kind of
Yes.
very, could be aggressive and outspoken?
Yeah, it can be. Yes.
Yeah, I feel that the dog doesn't resonate with his energy, because I feel it's
Okay.
your father. He's not trying to hurt the dog. He's not trying to harm the dog. I feel that his energy is strong because he's wanting to communicate, that he's wanting to connect with you. And because his energy is so strong, the dog feels like he has to be around you.
Okay. Okay.
Because the dog doesn't understand that your father is not trying to hurt you,
Okay.
you know, that he is just wanting to connect and communicate with you. And he's feeling that you need to get, your father is telling me you need to get back into your creativity.
Okay.
Do you do anything with writing or writing?
I'm not a writer. I've been taking out my paints. I've been just doing whatever I can think of to
All
bring
right, because
some
he's saying
creativity.
because he's saying to get back into your creativity. He's saying he loves you very much. He says, tell the dog I love him. He's adorable. I would never hurt him.
Yes. Yes.
He says if you communicate that to the dog will come, because animals understand when we communicate to them. So if
Right.
you tell your dog that this is just my father and he's here to protect us and he loves me and he will never do anything to hurt us, you know, the dog will calm down, because the dog is hovering
Okay.
over you, because the dog doesn't understand that it's your father and he wants to communicate. The dog is just very sensitive to energy, and he always had strong energy.
Okay. Can I ask you, do you know who came through here last night? They started glitching, the light came on and I was studying. I said, I can't do this right now. So they start glitching the light. I said, no, not now. So they start glitching.
I
It
feel
was my dad.
I feel it's your father. He really wants to communicate with you.
Okay. Okay.
And just ask your father, you know, talk to him and ask him to, you know, give you a message and ask him what it is, you know, how he wants to be of help this time.
Okay.
He really wants to connect with you. He's around you really strongly. And that's what the dog's picking up.
Okay. That totally makes sense.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome,
you so
dear.
much.
It's a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, great. Who wants to? Anyone else want to? Tammy, are you fine if other people respond?
Yes, I would love it.
Okay, Cindy's got something. Go ahead.
Cindy.
Okay, Tammy, I think a couple of things. I agree with Shelley on some of the stuff that she shared with you, but I think the dog is really wanting to let you know that you're ready to telepathically receive messages from the dog.
It makes sense.
So what I would recommend as an animal communicator is to ask the dog, you could do it out loud, ask the dog straight out, what are you saying to me? Then be quiet. And the first thought back in your mind will be the answer from the pet. Okay? Trust.
Yes, I understand.
Trust. Okay? Then use your mind to ask the dog another question.
Okay.
And then be quiet and listen to the response in your own head from the pet. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
You can also tell your pet that it doesn't have to bark. It can send you the message directly into your mind. But when you receive the message from the dog, you must acknowledge it.
Okay.
As one of your teachers.
Okay.
Okay? Because you're ready for that. You're ready for that kind of communication. And I also agree with Shelley that your dad is trying to do the same thing. He's saying to you, I'm here for you. Give me a job to do. So you could give, I used to have a ghost that followed me around in one of my houses. And he'd turn the radio off when I was listening to it. And I'd turn it back on and he'd turn it back off. And I finally said, all right, who are you? Because I always have to find out who's talking to me.
Yes.
And so I named him George. And so I asked George, all right, George, so you want to help me, right? So I gave him a list. I wrote it all out of what I needed to be done in my apartment. And guess who did it? Landlord
my
did
God.
it. Mhm. Thanks to George. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so your dad is in the same way, really wanting to be helpful to you and knows that you know that he's there.
Yes.
And
I do
so,
know.
do you have a picture of your dad nearby or something? Not that
Yes.
to show me, but
Yeah.
that you acknowledge that you see him every day and that you're grateful for the relationship to be developed?
Yes. I've talked to my father. I have communicated, but I'm trying to learn how to center myself more so I can receive more. I get bits and pieces.
Okay.
And
In the beginning, you will get bits and pieces. Okay. So I always recommend to all my clients that you start with a little bit of meditation and then followed with using a journal. You just kind of write out what you're grateful for and then open up to any guides that want to talk to you. And once you have a routine where the guides know they're not competing with you, doing other things during the day, you're going to have more clarity on what's coming through. And this experience will expand because usually the guides will ask you to do something and then they'll watch if you do it. Okay. And then once you do it, then that acknowledges that the communication's wide open. And then they'll be much more detailed. In fact, they'll give you so much to do, you won't know where to start. No, only kidding.
Thank you for that. Yeah, they gave me once, they said allow. They were telling me sit your butt down and allow us to work with you. So I received that. So
Good.
I feel I'm grateful. Thank you.
One more thing
you.
about your pet. Okay, I think that your pet is a teacher. Okay, and once you develop this telepathic communication, is what I call it, with animals, I think that your pet will help you to develop that with clients as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great, practitioner. Anything else you want to jump in and share with Tammy?
God, my heart.
So just a little bit too. So it makes sense to me that you're creative, that you're more of an artist. You have the artisan talent. It is about freedom as well as creativity, pleasure, and energy. So I think that the energy of your dog being around you all the time and just an emotional field, like you so feel your dog in your field. And I think that in addition to really wanting freedom on your own, that there's just some really early lessons too of you wanting to have your space. And in some ways, your dog, I think, is teaching you to get more intimate and more connected with other people. And so, and are you familiar with the Chinese finger puzzle?
Yes.
Yeah, right? So, and if you try to pull your fingers away from it, right, it grips you harder. Whereas if you like,
Yes.
lean into it, it loosens and gives you space. And so in some ways, you could also play with just grabbing your dog and hold your dog snug and like imagine you couldn't give your dog any more and like see what happens with your dog and how you feel as a result of doing that. And
Okay.
you seem like, because you are so sensitive to energy, do you do Reiki or have you played with doing Reiki before? Do you do Reiki
Yeah.
with your dog?
Yes, I have. I do it all the time, especially when he's sick.
Okay, so I wonder if there might be some other more regular thing that you do with your dog. And I don't, maybe do you do, I don't really know well enough of how Reiki works, but really connecting with your dog's heart.
Yeah.
Kind of allowing the energy flow of your heart to connect with your dog's heart. My dog is like getting up and my dog that follows me is like doing something at the moment. While I'm carrying it. So maybe the message is for me here too. And yeah, so just
Yes.
those are some things that are
I
here.
totally understand that. I totally do. Thank you. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Laura.
All right, great. Yeah, anyone else for Tammy? Just wanted to give everyone a chance.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Tammy.
Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. All righty, let's see. So we've got someone with a computer that is hopefully not running out of juice. So we've got Tracy in line next. So Tracy, or a device, some device that might run out of, yeah. So let's see. We have pinned you. All right. Go ahead, Tracy.
It's my iPhone. Yeah, I just, I was charged up for this today and then I finally went out for a walk. So I'm out in the boonies here. I could look for shade if you can't see me, but I don't know if it's important. Hello, everybody. Thank you. Met
You're welcome.
Laureli a few years ago at a
And we-
fair, and I was so impressed, and I've got to buy like 6 more of your books. Anyway, because it helps so many people. I am basically a very healthy, happy person. Oops, low battery. And I've had several things happen to me in the last 6 months physically that make me think there's something else going on. My DO says, well, if you hurt yourself on one side of the body, it usually means issues with a parent or something like that, which made me start thinking, how do I look into this? So I came on today with no question at all. And then I started thinking, maybe I'd throw out to you all, is there something I need to pay attention to more than, these separate little medical things that I've hurt myself falling down or whatever, clumsy moves? Do I have something else I should be paying attention to that's showing up in my body?
Susie's got something. Go ahead, Susie. Susie, sorry, you're muted.
And I didn't swear over that. Okay. So in general, Tracy, I would say talk to the pain in your body. There are a lot of places where, say, fear is held in the kidneys, anger's in the liver, or if there is like ankles or in the legs, and it's talking about balance and moving forward. So when you have these things going on, talk to it. Take a moment to calm down. So I'm feeling something for you right now in your temples. Do you have something going on in your head?
Not generally. I'm
Okay.
talking like falling and injuries, and then a few
Okay.
other things that just linger like that.
Okay. Then talk to it. The feet are about balance and moving forward. The legs are about that actual, the smaller the further down on your leg, the smaller the mobility is. But as you're getting up into the bigger muscles, into the quads and the glutes and all that, it's like big leaps forward. I'm not getting anything specifically because I'm caught up in giving that tool. It's like, here, talk to your liver, talk to your lungs, talk to your throat. I'm feeling something in your throat right now that there's emotion coming up from it. There could be some sort of, the falling down is tripping yourself up. What are you getting in the way of? Are you stopping yourself from some sort of movement? Is there fear involved in that? With the whole left-right thing, for me, if it's coming from the left, it's the past, it's feminine, it's receptive, it's yin. And then the right side for me is projecting, masculine, aggressive. So the left side would be passive. And so there's that balance there. It feels like something's a bit out of balance. I don't see anything like you're the one who's tripping yourself up. What are you stopping yourself from doing? There's some decisions that you can make. And when you take a little bit of time, not that whole, like, I have to get every consumer report available on the topic I want to make a decision on. There's some point where you can just get enough information and then make that decision, but you're stumbling over something. And if it's guilt, you can let go of the guilt, because it's not anybody's fault what's going on right now. We all just have to learn. We're all learning to pull together. And if we're all pulling in the same direction, then we can all walk straight up and move forward in such a manner that we can all make this forward progress. Okay, that's what I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great. It looks like Shelley's in line. Go ahead, Shelley.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
I'm not picking up anything, physically wrong with you, but I do feel that you hold emotions in your gut and your stomach area. I feel that you're an empathic, so I can pick up on people's emotional energy. And I feel that you seem to be holding on to emotions in your stomach, that there's something that you're not communicating. I feel that this has to do with a female in your life, that there may be something that you are upset with her about, and you're not communicating to her, and you're holding that emotion in your stomach, And you're also holding that emotion in your bladder and kidney area. Is there someone that you're needing to communicate with?
Not really. You know, the COVID year is funny. Of course, we've discussed. I'll see some family here in the next month. We bought an RV, and traveling has been weird because I try to keep my parents safe. And then my mother distances anyway, and that's okay with me because I've let that go on purpose.
It might be her that I'm picking up then, because I was picking up energy being held in the stomach area and the bladder, and I was picking the person holding their emotions in. Does your mother tend to hold things inside?
Oh yeah, she's a poser. She's
Then
from
it's
Minnesota.
It's probably your mother that I'm picking up and interpreting as you, because you're her daughter. It's probably your mother, so there might be something that she's holding in right now that may be upsetting to her, that she will be communicating to you when you see her.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, let's see. We've got Sally and then Marya. Sally, go ahead.
Hi, okay, so at first I was gonna ask if your mother had passed, because I was feeling some energy as well. So it might be your grandmother's, your grandmother in spirit.
Yes.
Okay, so would you have been close to her though, had a better relationship with her than you had with your mother?
Well, from 2,000 miles away my whole life, you know, you see me every couple of years.
So I'm not a doctor, but what I'm picking up is it's something to do with like making sure that you're going to the doctors and having them check things. I feel like there's something that they might be missing, but it's not anything major. It might be just something, even maybe with your ears or something even womanly, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you need to go like get checked by the, the gynecologist type of thing. Also, I'm getting this weird feeling of being a little bit careful out in nature with like bug bites and stuff. I have no idea what that has to do with anything. But so like a Lyme type of thing, or like a, you know what I mean? But it's like,
I do know. I've looked that up, although we don't live in a tick area.
But that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. It's like something like that where they might be missing something that's making you have these balance things. And I just feel like
I should say something. It wasn't balanced. I mean, I'm 60, but we are literally excitedly moving out of our house to have a kitchen addition made when I tripped with my arms full in the stair. Or I fell on the ice recently, and it's just falling on the ice.
Right, but that can still be like your equilibrium. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some kind of a reaction, or I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of feeling like it might have something to do with that. Like it's so slight, so you don't feel it, but it's affecting you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's kind of what I was picking up. It's just maybe something to look into, like maybe even your ears. Like you haven't had any problems with your ears?
No, but now that I'm thinking back a couple of years ago, they've examined me a few times before for dizzy stuff and tried to figure it out, never came up with anything. So I don't think it's why I fell those 2 times, but you're not completely, missing the point, because I have asked, what about the breathing? What about the dizzy? And
even it's like a slight little thing that's off with you, you might fall because you don't realize it, because in your normal life, your balance is fine. But then you might just get that one little thing that's off, and it might, because you're carrying something, and you know what I mean? Like that was the only message I was getting. And I felt like your grandmother was coming through. Because I thought it was your mother, but I do felt like your grandmother was coming through to kind of push you to make sure she's telling you, look at the whole picture, make sure you get the whole picture, make sure you get the doctors get the whole picture is all she's saying. And like, I guess the whole body, do you know what I'm saying? Don't miss anything.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great. Marya, go ahead.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi there.
So what I got right away when you said, what is it that you should pay attention to? Immediately, I heard yourself. And Susy mentioned tripping yourself up. I wrote that down. I got the same thing. And it's like you're not paying attention to yourself. You're kind of ignoring yourself. And one way to maybe get more grounded in yourself is to just sit and pick a body part, like your arm, your right arm, and feel your arm from the inside out. Then go to your chest and feel your chest from the inside out, and just kind of familiarize yourself, and not ignore yourself by doing that. And also being grounded. But I think it's more like you're ignoring yourself, or that for, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't care, so what, that kind of thing. I would just pay more attention to myself.
Okay.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
have. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Cindy, go ahead.
Hi, Tracy. I totally agree with what was just said to you. You're on the move, okay? And it's hard for you to stay grounded. So you really do need to have a little time out for yourself, whatever that means to you. Sit down and breathe, show gratitude, connect with those people that really, really are part of your heart connection. Open yourself up to nature, go to a tree, make a bridge of light to a tree, and just ask for divine wisdom to flow between you and nature. Okay, because I think you're awakening yourself to your new career path inside. You know that you're driven by passion, and you're just kind of deciding, well, I like this, I don't like this, and you're going through a sorting out process, basically.
That's true.
You actually have several paths ahead of you that you can choose, and you're just kind of testing the waters and seeing what feels good. Okay, not what you have to do, but what you want to do. And where's your next step up with the universe? Okay, because you do have a big path ahead of you. I think that you're going to find that you actually, by experiencing and getting more in touch with your body, that you'll help other people to do the same thing that are feeling this uneasiness, kind of like, well, what's next? And then by doing breath work and just knowing, everything's okay. It really is okay. And you don't have to have every decision, that you can think of at the moment. Just go with it. I want to ask you, do you take caffeine?
We just have coffee in the morning, and that's all. And then we switch to herbal tea.
Okay,
or green tea in my case. So I have
Okay.
I have a magic tea potion that I do, but yeah.
What's in that?
Well, I'll take the always green tea. I had cancer 5 years ago, early stage, so that was one of the things I took away. And then there's the the M word out of Mexico. It's a dry tree that grows down there that they know heads off cancer coming back. So usually it's different things like that, and lemon ginger. Today it was mint. I bought some cactus stuff for no good reason from my favorite Mexican store. So usually it's just stuff like that that's healthier than, I wouldn't drink more coffee anyway, because 1 cup is great. And we love our coffee. So are you telling me to stop with the coffee?
just be aware of the effects of the caffeine on you when you take it. It's not saying that you can't take it. And then the other thing that I hear coming through for you is that you are interested in plant medicine and plant wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
So I would really encourage you to start studying where you travel to. Pick up herbal books that have been written by Native peoples. Find yourself connecting to nature at that deep level, because I think that's part of your big journey ahead. When I look at your past life, you've been a shaman, you've been, part of a big tribe of women, that would get together and talk medicine and share medicine. Does that feel right to you when you feel that on your body?
You're the first person who's ever been able to get into a past life. Thank you.
And you're walking.
I want to call you.
You're walking what's called the Red Road. Okay. And so the Red Road is the wisdom road of the Native peoples. And I can see the feathers that will be in your hair that are being gifted to you from your the elders that you work with in spirit, and your totem animals that are waiting to meet you. Anyway, hope you like that.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's say it's great. I had caffeine written down too. So I had written down in a different way. So it just seemed like you're attempting to hold a lot right now. So it just seemed like you're attempting to hold maybe a little too much. And there's a sense of urgency that I pick up from you too. I mean, your pacing is quick, but it just seems like you're dashing a little bit more, like all over. And it's so that you took caffeine out of your diet, that you've decreased it is relevant to me. And then I was also thinking, if you're traveling more, has your eating changed?
Not traveling, you mean?
Are you
Well, we're not traveling now. But when we were in the RV, I get to control all the food. So I cook really healthy stuff for us. So I make most of the food unless we picked up something from a restaurant to go, but we don't normally. Yeah, I can control that.
So what I was wondering is that there's something in your environment that's currently an allergen, or that there's some supplements, there's something that you're missing. And so the more conventional diagnoses about attention, a way that a lot of people cope with that is by caffeine. And I wonder, so you naturally have artisans, so you have a lot of attention that goes in many different places. But it's great. There are animals that are participating now. It's fun. But I just
did you hear the geese fly over?
Yes, you hear the geese. It's great. It's great.
Yes, we're right next to a wildlife refuge. So.
I just think that there's so in this way, your brain, I just feel like your brain is firing in all these different directions, and something about just calming your brain a little bit. And that's why it's so since you've taken caffeine out, and maybe that's happening more now than it used to. So I get about not taking I don't know enough of what the right supplements are, but just for example, like Daniel Amen has recommendations of all kinds of supplements that support attention in the brain. And it's setting it up so that you don't have the same feeling of rush about time. It just feels like your energy, like if you're going forward, your energy is leaning out, like you're rushing further. You're not like in your center line. Does that make sense to you?
About rushing? Yeah, I've always been a fast mover. This is the slowest it's been able to be because I'm not having to work a lot. We have a really fun project going. We live on a river. I am so in love. I mean, my life is so good. So most things are at a really nice, even keel right now. But allergies have been an issue for 20 years. And I've gone through a year of testing that I finally said, forget it. I don't feel good on the stuff she tried to do. No one has nailed down exactly what, there's something else missing about knowing, and I don't know where to go to. I actually have been to so many doctors that I get tired of doing that, and that's why I started thinking maybe I need to go with something else, because once I eliminate something medical or something you need to know about, then I go the other routes. And I'm just thinking I've got to go a different round here to figure out what could be to involved.
So where are you? What water are you using?
I'm sorry, to drink?
Yeah, what water are you getting right now?
We have a well that's fabulous.
When was the last time you tested the well?
Let's see. I did it when we bought the house. And did the other neighbor do it too? We have the well tended a lot, but I could certainly, run it again. I was a lot worse before. I should say I'm calmer out here, but I've been here a long time now. So.
That's great. I'm just trying, it feels like something that's very subtle like that's energetically impacting you more than it does other people. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
And that it has to do with
you could be right.
Present in your body, and that's what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Someone mentioned, flower essences. I agree. Like something like that, just super, really subtle things. Yeah. Susy's got something else to do. Go ahead, Susy.
Yeah, I was reading the comment from Ruby, and there is a homeopathic remedy called coffea cruda, which is coffee that's been so dilute down to a vibrational level. It's like giving a kid with some sort of attention disorder, you can give them coffee, and frequently it will help them smooth out. So coffea cruda, if you're looking to slow down, would be a good remedy. But there are a lot of flower essences out there. I don't feel that I'm not able to pull one up out of my hat to recommend to you, because it doesn't feel like that rescue remedy, which is a really good all around thing, helps. But there is one for balance, and it's not birch. So I could
figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great online resources
Sure.
You know, if you're looking at homeopathy, ABC homeopathy is good, but there's
Okay.
Bach flower essences, there's Flower Essence Society, Australian flower essences. There are a whole lot of them. And you, when you go through, you identify the qualities that it enhances and the qualities that it would help smooth the rough edges on. And you could even, oh, did we lose her?
Oh, we
Oh,
may have lost her, but
okay. Well, just for the sake of the recording,
yeah.
you can go through and develop a blend are alcohol based. So I would recommend people who may have issues with that to look twice at that. But muscle testing is an excellent way to figure it out, which is also listening to your intuition. Is this the right remedy? Is that the right remedy? And then you can work on something like that. And it says that Ruby said she gets her flower essence from coffee from Brazil. So that's yet another resource I was not aware of. So thank you, Ruby. Okay, good. Thanks.
Great. And thanks everyone for jumping in. We got Tracy in there just in the last little bits on her phone. All right. Beautiful where she is. All right. Well, let's see. So we've got Deanna next. Deanna.
Hey,
All right. Let's get you up in here. All right. Go ahead.
hey, was really excited to talk to you guys. I've been watching you for about a month now, and I've had a lot of strange things happen to me. I have a rare neurological disease that caused me to be retired from the Coast Guard because I couldn't serve on board ship worldwide anymore, and it was just my legs. Long story short, in 2008, I was a juvenile probation officer, and an instructor hit me from behind during a training session and ruptured my neck. And before that could be repaired, the RSD went into my cervical spine and has also affected my other organs. But I have 2 computers and 4 electronic wires implanted in me to counteract the pain levels of the disease, because we've tried everything else and my RSD is actually chemical resistant. So these electronics are the only thing that work. But interestingly, 7 years ago, when I had the right occipital placed right here at the base of my skull, I started having a lot of experiences. I've had out-of-body experience with my great-grandmother. I see this past December, I saw a huge bright white orb that was like 2.5 feet in diameter. I see relatives and everything. I'll see things happen with animals. I know I'm very connected with animals. I'm sure I'm empathic that way. I had a service dog that she actually saved my life a couple of times, but she was my medical alert. And she went to the OR with me and actually let us know 2 different times before things were about to go wrong. But I'm kind of at a loss, like, where do I go to, these abilities that are creeping up and happening more and more? How do I focus them? I really don't have anybody to talk to about where to start focusing things, because it's so sporadic how things happen and all. And I'm kind of like looking for guidance on where to go. When you guys were talking about mentorship earlier, that just got me all excited. I had to sign up. And yeah, if anybody has any, guidance or information on that. And if anybody hears anything of who's smoking in my house for the past 12 years.
Just did you say who is smoking in your house the last 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
12, 13 years, I'll get a whiff of cigarette smoke and I'm like, hurry, who is it?
Yep. Okay, great. Marya's got something. Go ahead, Marya.
Hi, I'm the smoker. I heard the name Dan. And my suggestion for you, where to start, what you're describing to me, Deanna, sounds so much like what a lot of near-death experiencers talk about.
Mm.
In fact, all of the things you mentioned, I've heard mentioned by near-death experiencers in interviews. And one of my hobbies, my entertainment, is I watch interviews with near-death experiencers on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And there's a person called Jeff Mara, M-A-R-A, who does really good interviews. And there's one that's in German or Dutch or something. It's Thanatos, T-H-A-N-T-O-S, and he interviews people and they have subtitles so you can understand it. And you'll find other people too that are interviewing near-death experiencers. And I have learned so much from that. And that's something I recommend to people when they're having these experiences, to look at those, and you will be able to understand that other people are having these.
Mhm.
And it's just that maybe you didn't actually die, but
Right.
you are having so many of the things that they experience. And another thing that happens with near-death experiencers is that they have sort of after effects, they call it. So
Okay.
some people will become very clairvoyant. They'll be able to hear people's thoughts, for instance.
Yep.
You have that?
Yes. And a lot of times I actually hear it like from animals, the ones that aren't even mine. Like if I'll just know if there's like a stressor or an abuse or something like that, it's just like it hits just like that, and I already know.
Yes. Another thing that many have is that they become sort of electric. They'll get shocks from things, or they'll touch something and that, they'll blow out their radio or computer or whatever. You may have had that happen to you as well.
Right, because I'm
Um,
kind of the lead that's in the back of my head. I actually have two. I have one in the left side of my face and one back here at my right occipital that's going to be repaired in a week. But that emits a radio frequency, and each one of them emits a different frequency pattern to counteract the pain levels from this disease, so that I actually feel that signal before I feel the pain, so my brain will stop telling my body to repair itself when there's nothing wrong.
yes, I understand.
If this frequency is that, could have been what turned on whatever in my brain for this to start happening.
That's possible. That's possible. And to know that it's not your imagination, this is real. This is, it's sort of turned on your extrasensory abilities or supersensory abilities that you
Right.
have.
Yeah, because the out of body experience I had, it was actually my great grandma that I hadn't seen since I was 12 when she passed. And this was in 2014. It was only a few months after this was placed. And I woke up and I was in this dark area, and I understood that was as far as I could go. And in front of me was my great grandma dressed up in her little dress suit with a purse on her wrist and all that. And it was funny because the first thing I said was like, "Look, Grandma, look how tall I got." She was so tiny. And I ran up and I gave her the biggest hug, and I could feel her hair go under my chin because she was really short. She was only like 5 foot and I'm almost 6. And when she pulled back from me, she grabbed my arms and she told me everything is going to be okay. And she was letting me know I've had quite a few tragic things happen here lately. And if it wasn't for her visit, I don't know if I could have gotten through it.
Yes. So she's with you and she knows.
Yeah.
She knows that everything is going to be okay.
Yep.
Just in your eyes, you have a lot of the warrior talent, which is really supporting you right now. You just have a lot of strength to make it through all this. Like so many people might not have been able to.
Where a lot of people tell me that they understood why I went in the military and why I served. I was raised by a Master Chief of the Coast Guard too, so I had that already innate in there. But people, even though I've been retired all these years, they still say, "We see that in you."
And I think you have a lot of softness, a lot of energetic, just a lot of energetic capacity and awareness and a lot of empathy. And I think this is giving you an opportunity to really allow those things to shine and to be a way that you connect in the world.
Oh, great.
Hard pathway there, but yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out all these different things. That's what it's been, because I have like one thing happen, and then like my great uncle had a stroke, and then when I was cutting grass, and all of these dragonflies just swarmed all around me, and all the names of my ancestors were coming up. I did our family tree all the way back to King Edward I. So I had all of these different ancestors' names popping in my head, and then a week later, my father had a stroke. So it's like, I know I'm getting these signals of support and everything, but it's like trying to hone in. Like I see things moving for no apparent reason, and I know who's doing it.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, let's see. We've got Susie and Sally in line, so let's have them go ahead. And have you talked with other people that have you heard about the Akashic records and things like that?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so that's be something to look into, and maybe one of the practitioners here can speak to it a little bit. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Lorelei, you're so good because I was about to drop in on all kinds of these past lives. She brought it up. But Deanna, hey, so your gifts are definitely coming through, and the fact that you are so open to it is amazing. You came to it from an interesting path, and I honor your willingness to go and take it on. I got that the smoking was a previous tenant, and while I didn't get Dan, I got this woman named Marjorie who just sounded like she was like, "Oh my God, what the hell are you doing?" So I don't know. That could be me laying over my particular kind of personality on it, but it tuning in. I feel it's better to be Dan because he's there, and right now he's just watching. He's had similar experiences than you. And in fact, it feels like that he may have shared some of these past lives with you. I found, and when I access past lives, these are ones that are relevant to you in this lifetime, or at least at this moment. We've all
Okay.
had a lot of them, and you're not going to really worry about a baker in London when you've got, let's see, I wrote them down. A Roman soldier, you were on San Juan Hill, there was the Spanish War. So this whole soldier thing you've got going, this warrior
Mhm.
thing you've got going, you have come by it honestly. You have been a protector for so many people. And these were, they feel like they were career soldiers. They didn't do it because they wanted to protect somebody. This was their job, and they understood that this was this. I see a very strong influence on Mars on you. However, they goes, I don't do astrology. Apparently, I'm a typical Aries when I say, yeah, whatever. I don't know all the details, but there's, I feel a lot of Mars. You probably were, was that part of your Roman thing? Was Mars part of Rome mythology or Greek? Aries or Mars? I don't, Aries I think was Greek, so it was probably Mars. I don't know.
Okay.
But there was a, pardon me?
No, I was just saying, okay.
Oh, okay. But there's a very strong, you had quite a devotion to Mars, to that being able to be, so even Pompey's army you were probably a part of.
Okay.
And so, but it was the Spanish, where it was San Juan Hill where you were. That was the one where I think Teddy Roosevelt was the one who was leading that brigade, and they weren't practiced or career soldiers. These were guys who all had guns, and they took over San Juan Hill, and that was that thrill of the fight that got you worked up about that particular experience. The other lifetimes where you were a career soldier, and this is what you did because you believed in this, what do you want is, how do they want you to say this, in the sanctity of the country. It was a national duty for you.
Yeah, because we always say, even as retired, we took an oath to protect and serve the Constitution, not during our time of service. Just because we're retired, it didn't retire our oath. We only relieve that when we pass on.
Right. Exactly. And that's, and it's the same thing with policemen. My father-in-law was a policeman, and when my husband went to visit him before he died this last year, he said, Pop, your watch is done. Your watch is over. And so it's that same kind of carrying through that sense of duty to protect and to uphold the law, the Constitution, that
Right.
national ideal. So, okay, that got heavy really fast. So let's talk about Dan again.
I'm wondering, since you and someone else has mentioned Dan, my grandfather that I didn't get a chance to meet, he passed 4 years before I was born, but his name was Hamilton, but went by Ham or Hammy. So,
Okay, because there is a sense of protectiveness around him, around this being Dan, who's watching and just seeing. He doesn't really need to dive in, but he feels very curious to me, as in, what is she going through, so he can experience it. And I did ask him, like, is there anything you can do to help our Deanna here? And he's like, yeah, no. And he's I'm like, well, you're a lot of help. So maybe he just doesn't want to talk to me, and he's willing to talk to any of the other practitioners. I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, great. We've got Sally and then Cindy. Go ahead, Sally.
Hi, I just had do you have a young male in spirit that you know of? So I'm not sure if this is someone that you're close to or not. I feel there's a male around you. I don't think it's this Dan person, because I think it would have been someone that you might have served with. I'm not sure. I just will tell you what I feel. I feel there's a young male around you who is basically saying, like, you know, so there's times when I feel like you're very low, like you said, but I feel like then you feel like this presence, or you even might hear a voice that says, like, you can do this, like, keep going, like, knock it off, stop being like a baby almost, which, you know, you're not being. But I feel this person is with you saying these things to you, like, knock it off, you can do this, you know. And I feel like you have a higher purpose. I think your purpose is more educating about this disease, okay? Educating other people, being a mentor to other people with the same illness, which ironically, I have the same illness as you, so I get it. But I did feel a very strong sense of you needing to be here, because there's going to be people that are going to need your story. Your story's going to need to be told. And without you and what you've been through, that they're not going to be able to make it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the sense I'm getting. And I just keep hearing this young guy saying, like, knock it off. You know, I don't want to say suck it up, because believe me when I tell you, I know what you're going through, but like, that's what this person is saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what they're saying. Like, so I just feel like your purpose here is mostly to help other people get through this illness, help other people understand this illness, and be that light and that support that they need when they are going to be at rock bottom and so low that they are going to be where you were. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy that you're saying that, because I got a phone call last week from a young lady. She's an EMT, and she rolled her ankle back in October and had an onset of RSD, and now fighting workers' comp. I've already been through all that and won.
Right.
So
like an advocate. Yeah, an advocate. And it's such a misunderstood disease that nobody understands.
People don't understand that the sympathetic nervous system is affected, so it affects every autonomic thing that can happen, and they misdiagnose it for all those things instead of the primary.
Yeah, I totally get it. And so, yeah, I just feel like I keep hearing beacon too, like you're gonna be a beacon for this disease. You know, it's just definitely gonna be something that it's gonna give you a purpose when you feel like you don't have a purpose. It's gonna give you a meaning of your life, and you're gonna understand why you're here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I always say, I already went through the depression part and everything years ago when I was in the military, you know, because I felt like it took my uniform from me, it took my career and all. And now, you know, I have RSD, it doesn't have me. It may slow down, but it's not going to stop me.
Yeah, like with me, I had cancer too. And I thought, of all the things that took me out of my career, this RSD is what took me out of my career. But you know what? It opened up a whole different world. I would have went back to that job that I hated. I would have went back, even with cancer. I just kept fighting. I would have went back to doing what I hated. It's like the universe threw this RSD at me for a reason. And I feel they did the same thing for you, even though it's not a great cross to bear, but there's a reason for it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I actually found out, what was it, last year or year before, I actually had Coast Guard Intelligence call me because they had a case come up about sexual assault on a ship that I was stationed to, that I was sent to. And we had an electrical fire on board ship, and running up the ladder well, it twisted my ankle, and I was in remission. And when I twisted that ankle, it threw me back into full RSD, and I didn't walk for 8 or 9 months after that. But when Intelligence called me a couple of years ago, there was actually a series of rapes that happened on board that ship. and they were calling to see if I had any information to help out the females that were on board.
Yeah.
So I really believe that the RSD saved me from what could have been.
Right.
And somebody would have been Lorena Bobbitt probably, but
Yeah.
but I really
And I
think
do feel like, you know, your grandmother came down to let you, like she like you said, she's the one that gave you the strength to keep going, because I think they're fighting for you up there. I think they're fighting for you, for even for you to feel better someday, possibly a cure or something like that. You know what I mean? But they want you to keep going until that happens, so you can share your story and be, you know, a light for somebody else. That's what I feel.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think because,
Players.
sorry,
I know.
can you say that again? I cut out a little bit.
I just said I hope you don't have many flares, any RSD flares.
It's like a constant flare. It never goes away.
Say, because you're so deeply embodied, I think that it opens more people to believe your experiences too. So I think opening many people to what all the different ways of perception. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yeah, Sally really did hit on what seems to be the situation, but I'm going to take you to another level here.
Okay.
Okay, so you might want to take a big deep breath. Okay, so as a psychic medium, sometimes I can see things galactically, okay? And so I'm going to tell you that you actually had an implant put into you, one implant, if not more, okay? And your mission here, as you now know, is a mission to wake others up to the experience, but you're going to do it through creative writing, okay? I hope that you have been noting your life from this experience, like in a journal, okay? I'm going to encourage you to write it out, because what I see for your future, which is huge, is you're going to be writing your story and submitting it in a script form for either Netflix or the gaming industry, because they're going to take the things that have happened to you and create character lines from this. And it's a teaching opportunity, okay? Just like the other mediums have suggested to you. So consider it divine intervention that happened in your life. You're physically experiencing it so that you can write it, so other people can feel it. Somebody else can characterize it and make you, you know, be able to be seen and heard. And you're going to reach millions of people by giving them the opportunity to understand what it took to go through. Okay, so you come in as a wise teacher, even though right now you're in the middle of the experience, okay, and you're having to kind of sort out everything, okay, you're actually going to be the teacher, all right? And you actually may, you were asking about mentorship. I think you could get a deck of cards, oracle cards, anyone that you're attracted to, just put your hand out towards the deck that you see online and just ask, is this a deck that's going to help you? Okay.
Actually,
oh, okay. There you go. And start with them, because they're going to help you reflect in a way that kind of helps you to mirror your own situation. Okay. But you are in a whole league by yourself. Okay. Okay. You're a high functioning celestial being, okay, with a huge mission, all right? And I know that things are going to work out. Miracles are lined up for you, one after another, even though you may have felt like, oh my God, why does this keep happening? You know, getting deeper and deeper into this experience, but you're doing it because you're going to be able to bring out laughter, okay? Because you're going to create comical situations where you describe the things that have happened to you. And through comedy, okay, people will get it. They'll totally be able to feel the courage that it takes to be you, and to be able to take that courage and be inspired at a soul level, okay, to what you're doing and how you're helping humanity. So I want to thank you for being you. So I hope that when people step up to ask you if they can help you, I do want you to say yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a hard thing I do because I'm so headstrong. I'm like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make sure I get it done. But I've always been the one to help everyone else. So for me, accepting help, that's always been a little hard. So I'm gonna have to focus on that and how
Right.
to
Take
teach
a
myself
deep breath, and just receive.
right.
Okay, because you'll never know what synchronicity lies behind the gift
Right.
unless you take the gift. Yeah. Okay, I hope that helped you.
All right, thank you.
And I was gonna say, yeah, your energy is so linear, and this whole process you're in now is not linear at all.
Now, I've never been the one to take the easy path.
So this is the not easy path in a completely different way than you ever anticipated. So, but yeah. All right. Anyone else want to share anything else with Deanna? Is it Deanna? Deanna, how do you pronounce your name?
Deanna.
Deanna. Yeah. Really quickly, we've got one more question too. Great. Thanks so much for your question. Deeply.
Well, thank you. It.
You're very welcome. All right, let's see. So we've got Cheryl next. All right, Cheryl, let's go find you. Oh, Cheryl was here. Let me go see where Cheryl. Oh, there's Cheryl. Okay. Whoops. I can't pin you, Cheryl, till you turn your video on. Let's Can you turn your video on and then I'll pin you? Are you ready to go?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So my question is, my whole life, I've always had a knowing, very connected to animals, very connected to gardening. I have to be out in nature. So I guess what it boils down to is a few years ago, I accepted this other side of myself, and I've lived way more peacefully, less inner conflict. If I know things, I just go with it. But I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. I do tarot, I have crystals. A lot of people come to me for intuitive readings. Just, they tell me things and then I just let them know what I'm getting. But like, what are my gifts? It's so hard. Like, I really just want to kind of try to focus on like one aspect. Like I'll do tarot and then I'll lose interest for a little while and then I'll go to crystals. And then I do pendulums, and then it's like I keep coming back, but I never really like stay with any one thing for like any great length of time. Does this make sense at all? So I really just want to like, I don't know. Does anybody pick up on what my gift is, what my path should be?
So yeah, so it totally makes sense. And let's see, Susie had her hand up first. So go ahead, Susie.
So Cheryl, it's all okay. That's one of the things we find. I mean, it's happened to me a lot where it's like, oh, okay, this looks like fun. Oh, let me look at that. Oh, I can do that. And that's how I'm on this panel too, because I've talked to dead people before. It's not a bad thing. And your answers are coming through in your question, which sounds so top of the mountain kind of thing. But you have that ability. I believe that we all have the ability to tap into source. It's just finding that aspect of source that most resonates with us. And you've got this ability to tap into it in cards. Oh, look, there's crystals. You'll be talking to animals. I had a very strong feeling of the Fae being with you.
Yes. I've had so many people tell me that. And if you could see my yard, even behind me, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of dark, but I have to have my indoor garden. I have a plant that grows almost completely around the whole entire room. I need this. This is what makes me whole. And if people don't understand it, sorry.
and I think the greatest gift is that you have accepted your true self, that you
Mhm.
do have these, I was about to say extracurricular abilities, and that's not right. These extrasensory abilities, you are so tapped in. And I did see, I was like, oh, that's kind of dark. Oh, look, there's some Fae and there's some Fae. So I could see it. And then the fact that you're showing us this garden that you have and have this ability to work with plants to get one, you know, is it an ivy like a philodendron that's crawling all through your room?
It's actually a pathos. I don't know if you can see it.
Pothos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a type of philodendron, and that's one of those things. It's just you've got this gift to work with a fae. If you really feel the need to focus your attention and your abilities on one thing, work with a fae. They will
Okay.
give you all kinds of stuff. However, please understand that they're not limited just to plants. They do help you with your second sight. I love that. That's such a Southern phrase, but with your second sight and helping you tune in. It feels that nature is going to definitely be your milieu, your place where you totally rock it. But
Okay.
it's okay, like rocks. Who? And now the crystals are stepping forward saying, us too. So working with the Fae, I think will be very much give you that joy, that joie de vivre that you have that you will continue to be able to express. Because you just said it. If they don't get it, oh well, their loss.
Well, I would
And
have
it
said it
is,
another way, but we're live. So
I'm sorry, that was my outside of the mask voice. Sorry. I've done that a lot today. But tapping into that, which will allow you to look at so many of the other gifts, and you're not going to be slacking if you lose interest in one for a while. It just means it's not resonating with you at this moment. So
okay.
the Fae, I don't know. Do you see things just out of your periphery? You're
All
okay.
the time, even in my home.
Okay, this
And it's
flashing that's going on, is that a physical light going on right now? You've got a
um
flashing that's on.
I have a fire in my background, but I do get flashes in my house, like just sudden bright white flashes, and I always catch it out of the corner of my eye. And it doesn't. I've had supernatural things happen to me, and it's not the same. Like I know this, and it's something I'm totally comfortable with, and it's like, oh, okay, and then I just go back to doing what I'm doing. But it's funny you mentioned the Fae because I meditate in everything, and people know the names of their spirit guides and what have you. Like I don't connect on that same level, but if I'm in my backyard hammock meditating, like I get all kinds of things. And I think it's because I'm just in it. I'm connecting with,
Yep.
I'm in that
Yep.
environment.
Yep. Because there's this flashing. I ask about the flashing because there's a flashing going on. It's on the right side of my screen, so I don't know if you're mirrored or whatever, but there's this flashing. And so it's you connecting with the Fae. They are asking that you don't waste time trying to find out individual names. There are too many of us there for you to
Mhm.
have to identify. But working with them as a general energy is what helps you connect. And that is your path, is to work with them. They're kind of like that. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to date other beings, that's cool. We don't care because you're always going to come back to us. And that's fine. So accepting that your true self, that this is what you do, was the first big step in doing it. And then playing with it all, playing with all the opportunities is so great, because that enriches what you can do, and that deepens that connection you have. So plants, yes, definitely talk to the devas out in your gardens and your forests.
Yep.
Leave them a little offering. I don't know, walk gently, hug a tree, do all those wonderful things that lead you to that sense of peace. They are very concerned that you continue to, they really want you to continue on this path of inner peace, because it is with that calm that vibrations are directly affected. So if you ever choose to monetize what you're doing, to go out and doing, to be able to have this level of inner calm that other people can tap into, and you'll do it in such a way that it doesn't sap your strength, that's going to only enhance others.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been learning a lot about protecting my own energy lately. that's been huge for me probably in the last 2 months, because I noticed that I was giving a little too much to people when they need it. And it's important to hold a little bit back to yourself.
Well,
Do you know that?
Yeah, I do. And there are a couple of things you can do. And I think Deanna would benefit from this first one. It's just putting on an energetic armor. All I say is armor, and I feel like I'm Iron Man going chink, 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 and it's all. And I think first off, that would help Deanna. The other thing I've learned about buckyballs are sacred geometry, and that's essentially what a soccer ball is. It's got those 6-sided shapes that are all fit together, and we've all got them installed in our heart. And when you go out to do stuff, you can just activate that buckyball to expand out, to encompass you all the way around, like just beyond your fingertips with your arms stretched out. It's got 2 sides on it, so you can put a mirror side on the outside, so you're deflecting other people's stuff. You're keeping your energy to yourself. I have figured out that you can also line the inner side. That's for you. You can either put mirrors on it so that as you're in that state of meditation, you're sending out love. Oh, look, the love comes back to you because it's reflected back. Or you could line it with some sort of crystalline structure. Rose quartz would be great for you if you line it with crystal, with that.
Yeah, I typically wear that in obsidian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are great. So you can line that buckyball. I've been told the buckyball stays in place for a day, but I set the intention to go bigger and better, because we're only limited by our intention. So if we think it's only going to last that long, well then, okay. I'm kind of, I don't want to say lazy. I got yelled at for being called lazy once, but I'm one of those. I'm more casual in whatever practices I have. I'll remember it and I incorporate it into my daily life. So the buckyball is like, okay, buckyball, let's go. I don't do any kind of, oh, I'm not worthy or that sort of stuff. It's like, let's put this in place. Bang, it's there and I can move on.
I see. I like that too, because I'll set an intention while I'm on my way to work. And I think my thing is that, like, at some point during the daytime, I have to like reset that intention. And it's just remembering to do that.
Exactly. Well,
funky ball.
Yeah, the buckyball is great. I like the idea of remembering what my intention was for the day, because it helps to reinforce it. But shields and wards and protection, it's like, oh God, it's kind of draining for me. Yeah. I mean, I used to work someplace where I would take a shower and it felt like I had black sludge coming off of me. So, and that was before I learned about this stuff. I probably still wouldn't be there because it was a dreadful place, but that's another story. But yeah, put that buckyball in place, and you can even expand it out to include your car or to include your office, or, include your garden in your house. I've got one around my house right now in my yard. So, and
I'm jumping in a little bit.
Beauty.
Susy, finish up, please, because we got a bunch of other people we want to get into. So.
Okay, sorry. So just set your intention and it's in place. Thank you very much. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's great. So all Susy shared is so great. I say very briefly, your talents, you have server and artisan talent is very diverse. It doesn't want to settle. It doesn't want to focus. Your gift is about being able to tap into all these different things and being able to move around in all these different ways. And then I feel like the server, your heart, somehow your heart feels hurt and wounded that you haven't been given one thing. And your gift really is that you can do so many.
Thank you. And it's funny you mentioned that, because I am very creative and it's not something a lot of people pick up on. But I've had many people tell me that you heal through your paintings and the stuff that you create.
You do. And also server and artisan is more of a hee energy, and it's the most connected to the Fae. So it's totally perfect that Susy shared that too. All right.
Cool.
So we've got, so Marya, Sally, Shelley, and Cindy. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to make this quick. Writing an elevator speech is not for you.
Nope.
Elevator speeches are a head thing, and it sort of feels like you were trying to, squeeze it into an elevator speech. You need to feel your way into it. And each of us has our own unique way of doing things, whatever intuitive art it is. And as you do it more, you'll learn your own style more and more.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And a carpenter, she might use a hammer, she might use a drill, she might use a nail gun, whatever. You've got all those tools at your disposal, but you are more than individual tools. That's not what your trade is about. So that being
So I
said,
shouldn't beat myself up for being a bouncy ball sometimes.
It's okay. Great. And Marya, can you stay until the very end? I want all the practitioners to be able to share all their contact info at the end of
yes.
the video. Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead. Let's see. So Sally, Shelley, and then Cindy. Go ahead, Sally.
Okay, so I felt a woman around you in spirit earlier who I feel would have been like either mother, grandmother energy, who is basically saying this is how you have always been as a child too, where you would easily get bored of things. And you had to constantly be, I don't know, like switch things up, entertained almost. So
Okay.
I feel like,
I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds like something my mother would say.
yeah, she's saying this is how she always was. Like I had to constantly keep her entertained, you know? I mean, so what she's saying is you can think of these things as all encompassing, but what she's saying to me is that you want to stick out. You want to be different. You want to have that one thing that like, not that nobody else has, but that's specific to you. And you feel like you haven't completely found that yet. And she's also making me feel like some of the things that people are asking you and some of the questions they're asking you are annoying you almost. And she's saying like, it's just, you're getting frustrated with people almost because of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your interactions that you're having with them is frustrating you. So she's telling you maybe to try to just play around with everything and think about things that you can combine, like the crystals and the cards, you know, or come up with your own unique thing where it would work for you and you'll feel like you stand out. And then you only will offer so many specific things to people. So you're not answering what you would consider silly questions almost. Does that make sense?
No, and it does. And my phone's gonna die in a second. I think it's just because it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound, and I'm sure you guys must all get this too with certain
like
people.
The same questions like when is he coming back, or you know, something silly like the repetitive questions, or people are coming to you for little teeny tiny questions and you're like, I want to help you like bigger than that, or I want to go deeper than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or you know, or I'll send them videos or something, or you know, something for them to become more aware that it's an internal thing. And I don't want to say it like this, but that, you know, it's part of their process that they have to go through this. And you know, they're able to tap into this themselves, but they have to go through the motions.
Yeah. So maybe like even teaching is better for you. It's just there's something that you want to stick out to be different. Like I feel like you just want a higher purpose of it. It's like just reading cards isn't enough for you, right?
No,
like,
it's not. And the thing,
yeah.
it's always with me. And I fought it for so many years. And it's kind of like, okay, like I just said this to the full moon last night, like, okay, I'm open to it, but I need to be shown my direction.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of get a little frustrated with myself because I do the bouncy ball thing. It's like, do I lack focus? You know,
I just don't think you found your complete niche yet. I feel like you're going to combine some things together and do like something different. Do you see what I'm saying? Like maybe cards and crystals or some kind of crystal healing or something like that.
No, cool. Well, my phone, I'm at like 1%. So thank you ladies so much. Thank you so much.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great night.
If you could you have any more bandwidth? You're totally gone. Well, let's see. So so Shelley and Marya, I know you wanted to share. Cheryl, well, just go ahead if you want to share, and it'll be in the recording. And then Cheryl can always come back to if she wants to. So Shelley, go ahead. I know she won't necessarily be here, but
what I want to share with you, Sherry, like Sally, I was picking up your grandmother. I was feeling your mother, your grandmother, and your great grandmother all had and psychic abilities. They all had very strong intuition. You have chosen to use your intuition to help people. They may not have chosen that path, but they were very gifted and intuitive. So it's your gifts are coming from your mother's side of the family. And I feel that what you are, regardless of the tools that you are using, is that you are an intuitive channel, and that you're able to read the energy around people, and that you're an intuitive channel. And that these tools are things that you use, but you really don't need them. You could be able to read them intuitively without tools if you wanted to. That these tools are just to help you focus and tap into your natural intuition. And I feel that since you do kind of tap into people's energy, and that it's easy for you to read people, that you may want to consider using psychometry to read people. I feel that that you would get a lot of information from the psychometry, that is more of a direct link between you and the client, and that might be something you want to look into or try.
Yep, that sounds great, Shelley.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, great. And Cindy, what did you want to share with Cheryl?
Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of blast you with this. I see you as a spiritual teacher, and you're going to use your creative, intuitive gifts to inspire other people. They're going to join you in art festivals and small projects where that will actually then become a catalyst for other people to awaken to their own gifts that you've already been experiencing, because you have so many gifts that you're aware of, all your psychic abilities through different mediums. You're going to encourage people to find their own path through the paths that you've already touched on, and call in the fairies, and you might even have your own fairy art school for adults and children. Good luck.
Great. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks so much, Cheryl. Hope that you get all these messages. All right, well, practitioners, let's say, so for all of the guests, all of you that are here, I've been putting in the chat the rest of the information on the practitioners. We're all available to work with you privately. We have many other MeWe events as well. Next Friday, we have a panel on sound healing, I think, for example, so many more upcoming events. And then I've also put in a link for a feedback form. We'd love to get your feedback on the event. And if you fill it out with your email address, we'll put you in contact with all of us. And we'll also put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. So please do share feedback with us. And then practitioners, let's go around and I'll share our contact info. So share your name, all the different things that you do, and then your contact info so people that watch the video later can find you. Let's see. So let's maybe go in the opposite order we went before, I guess. So Sally and then Marya.
Hi, okay, so I am an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. I offer tarot readings virtually, where I would send you a video or written, reading, or I actually have a face-to-face tarot reading that I do via like Skype or Zoom. I also do face-to-face Zoom mediumship readings. My Facebook page is Sally Spiritual Guidance. I have an Etsy shop that I think it's Mama Sally Spirit Shop. And if you just look up Sally Spiritual Guidance, it'll come up for all my different things. Instagram, TikTok, they're all the same name. So that's where you can find me.
And I found on the web a different Facebook page. I think this is you though. It's Mama Sally Spirit Girl. Is that you also? Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And then when you look at it, it'll say Sally Spiritual Guidance on there. So that's how you'll know it's me.
Okay, great. Cool. And I just put your info in the chat too. All right, Marya.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Marya. I'm a spiritual psychic medium and mentor to intuitive psychics and mediums. And you can find me at my website, which is MaryaOMalley.com. It's my name. It's MaryaOMalley.com. I'm on Facebook at Marya OMalley, no apostrophe, at Services for the Soul. I am on Twitter as at You Are Simply Divine. And my email is connect@maryaomalley.com. I also have an event coming up. It's my Metaphysical Book Club, and you can find that on Eventbrite. So Marya OMalley, or Metaphysical Book Club with Marya OMalley.
Great, great. And for those of you that are here in the meeting right now, Marya's got a link with prices just for the MeWe fairs people on our website. So go take a look. All right, great. And sorry, we've got Shelley and then Susy and then Cindy.
I am a tarot reader. I also specialize in animal communication, and I am a medium. I also read past lives and can read your aura and chakras. I do chakra reading and balancing. And you could find me on the internet. Just go to Psychic Shelley Hofberg.
Did you want to spell that out for us?
Psychic, PSYCHIC. Shelley is SHELLEY. H like in Harry, O like in Oscar, F like in Frank, B as in boy, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, G as in George, Psychic Shelley Hofberg.
Okay, great. Thanks, Shelley. All right, Susy.
I'm Susy Parker Goins with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel bringing through divine for you to talk to develop a relationship with your spirit guides, to learn about all sorts of things that you may have questions about. I'm an energy healer doing body scans to help you identify blockages. I'm also a past life explorer and help you and teach you those things to resolve past life issues that you've carried forward. I have a podcast called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. It's on Spotify. I have a YouTube channel. You can find me on Amazon Music. Few other things. Go to anchor.fm if you want to find out the different places I'm at. You can reach me at my personal email at SUSYPGOINS, SusyPGoins@gmail.com, or at Susy, SUSY, at BlueLightningHealing.com. Thank you so much, and I've had a lovely time.
Thanks so much, Susy. All right, Cindy, your turn.
Okay, everybody, I just want to say that I'm totally grateful for all of you taking the time to listen to this panel, and I am sure that you have gotten a lot out of it. I'm a psychic medium. I have a YouTube channel. I'm an author. I have books on how to connect with fairies, how to listen to nature in your garden, and I encourage you all to develop your own intuitive gifts. If I can help be a catalyst for you, you can find me at psychicpalmistcindy.com. And I hope to see you again at another panel or in person at one of my events. Thank you.
And I'm Laureli Shimayo, an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach. I sell the O cards that I showed earlier, and I have a book on some of the traits that I read in people's eyes. I have all kinds of classes for learning how to read people's eyes. I love to do matchmaking, have class on conscious online dating, all kinds of different resources. And you can find out more about me and all that I offer, including these fairs, at LaureliShimayo.com. That's LaureliShimayo. And I do complimentary mini sessions if you'd like to sign up time to connect with me. And please fill out the feedback form so we can get in touch with you and share about more of our upcoming events. You can learn about all the different events we have at MeWeFairs.com, at MEWEFAIRS.com. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for all the questions that you asked, and everyone for being here, holding space and being part of the energy of allowing us to do these